Well, the first mile post on a hike in. So the left fork here goes up Lion Creek to Grayling and Lion. Right fork goes up to Lake Abundance and Crescent. Lots of trees down across the trail already. Looks like trail maintenance is like non-existent this year. Everywhere I've hiked pretty much. So we're dropping down here to our creek crossing just up ahead. About 3 miles in. Alright, here's my little creek crossing. You know, in high water you gotta ford it, but it looks like I can probably get across it on foot today. So on the left here, right there, is the old trail, and over here is the new trail. The new trail is built with switchbacks. It goes up into this hanging canyon. The old trail just kind of went straight up it, and so the new trail crisscrosses it quite a bit on the switchbacks, but it's a much easier, much nicer trail. Sometimes you see fish in here. Sometimes. Doesn't look like today though. Oh, there's a little one. There's a couple little ones. Yep, there's some little ones. Well, good morning. It's Friday, July 16th, 2021. I'm in the East Pioneers. This is day 2 of a set of mini trips, I guess, or hikes, whatever you want to call it. I was in the Beaverhead Range yesterday chasing golden trout unsuccessfully. So today I'm in the East Pioneers, en route to there's a group of lakes up ahead. There's 2 groups of lakes in this area. I'm en route to one of them, but what I'm hoping to do, there's a lake, I was in here last year. What I'm hoping to do is I want to veer off trail here. There's a lake off to the south. It's been 10 years since I fished it. I'll call it Sheila Lake. That's a code name. And it should have 3-year-olds in it. And maybe if I'm lucky, 7-year-olds. It's a shallow lake. Sometimes it winter kills, so we'll see. And then it's only, well, I don't know, probably about 2/10 of a mile, quarter of a mile. Just got to find the best place to get off the trail and get to it. Hopefully it has west slopes in it, so hopefully the fishing will be better, because my last 2 trips, yesterday and last Saturday up at Joaquina Lake, I really struck out, and I don't handle that too well, especially after hiking. So pretty good hike in here. Anyway, mosquitoes aren't too bad until now. The final thing I'll say is trail maintenance this year has been basically non-existent. I think I've got 1 or 2 people ahead of me on a horse. Other than that, that's all I saw down at the trailhead, and 1 person at the campground. It is a Friday, so I'm expecting some traffic in here later on. But I've basically hiked, oh, let's see, 4 or 5 trails in the last 2 weeks in the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest, East Pioneers, Beaverheads, and every one of them looks like there's been no trail maintenance this year. This one, wow, coming up Canyon Creek, just, it's crazy. All kinds of I can't even count the amount of trees across the trail. So anyway, see you at the lake. A lake in the East Pioneers with rising fish, and I got my waders. Wow, there, I don't know what they're taking. Looks like we got some caddis on the water from what I'm seeing. Yeah. All right. Small lake. Haven't been here in 10 years. 10 years ago was the last time I was here. All right. I don't know. I like this area right out in here because I can wade it, but I can all along the lake I think is going to be decent. So there's a lot of caddis on the water here, and this is about the time for it. Mid-July, early to mid-July it starts. And you can kind of, you might be able to see that one, but they're ovipositing, and they kind of run along the water there, and it depends on the species. Some species they just flop on the water and drop their eggs. Others they run on the water like that. This light-colored caddis, and you can see them here just running on the water. That is probably Ocetus, the longhorn sedge, and it is it's a caddis that occurs in lakes and in slow waters. Very common. It's one of the 4 or 5 major caddis that occur in still waters. And the trout are kind of keying on them, what they're doing. I can see them. Of course, right now they're, you don't see anything, but I'm seeing the fish will even, if the caddis are flying a little bit above the water, they can see them and they'll chase them, waiting for them to land, because they're kind of erratic on the water, and they're kind of erratic, and so the fish don't have they got to kind of track them and get a good shot in if they're going to get one. So there's a couple of things I can do here. One thing I could do is I could put a caddis imitation on. I carry a caddis called a dancing caddis. It's one of Gary LaFontaine's imitations. It's actually a dry fly, and it's perfect. It's got an upturned hook, and it's perfect for skating. You basically just throw it on the water and you skate. That's what you do with it. And it's kind of fast fishing is what it is. It's the fish will, you give it a fast, quick retrieve in, a continuous retrieve in, and it creates a wake, and the fish will see it and jump. But the other thing I could do is I could try the ant. Regardless, what I'm going to have to do though is I'm going to have to put a floating line on. I have to change my leader. I got a leader set up on it for fishing subsurface under a strike indicator. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. More to come. All right, well, so we got a bunch of ants here. I kind of sat down on them. We must have some kind of ant colony in here, but yeah, I look at ants a lot when I'm in the high country because I fish them so much. These are, most of these ants, the little ones like this, this group here, their abdomen's black, their head's black, and the middle part, their thorax, is kind of a red-orange. And I saw some carpenter ants, but there's a carpenter ant. Let's look at him. Yeah, there's your carpenter ant right there. I fished those in a 16, which is my standard. There's another one there. That's my standard fly in the high country. But I also carry the red. I carry some of the red ones in about an 18. There's the caddis on the water. He's in the shallows where a trout can't get him. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this. So that's the fly that I'm going to use. This is one of Gary LaFontaine's Dancing Caddis. This is prize 16, I think. As you can see, it's tied on an upturned hook. It's kind of like an inverted elk-hair caddis, except the bottom, the hackle on the bottom is clipped, and it's meant to skate across the water. I believe he had several different color variations for these, and this one I believe he called Ginger, and it's actually meant for imitating this very specific caddis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grease it. You know, I'm going to put fly floating on it and a fly line. I'm going to go out there, cast out, and give it a fast retrieve and see what happens. It's been a while since I've done this. The problem with this fly is with that upturned hook, you have to resist the temptation to set the hook immediately. You got to basically say one and then do it. There needs to be a little bit of pause so that the fish turns down, otherwise you'll pull it out of their mouth. So last time I did this, I don't remember when it was, but it was fast fishing, so we'll try it. Okay, here goes. Not a lot of room in back of me, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to roll cast out, and you can let it sit there for a minute, but generally what you want to do is you can give it a fast hand twist retrieve, and it'll make a little wake on the water, and with a little bit of luck a fish will chase it, which didn't happen there. The nice thing about this is that the wake attracts the fish. So we'll let it sit there for a minute. And that may not work so well. Yep, there we go. Well, I'll tell you, it sure is hazy up here with the smoke from the fires. This is crazy. Well, he's not real huge, but he does look like he's in good shape. He's about 11 inches. Ooh. Fat, real nice fat fish though. So this lake was stocked in 18. So these should be 3-year-olds. There you go. So there's a big old fish right out in here. If I can get him without spooking him. A big old fish. I mean, he's a good sized fish. So let the fly sit for a minute, and I'll start the retrieve here. The key is to pique his interest without scaring him. I kind of lost track of where he went, so far the fishing hasn't been red hot. I've caught the one, I missed another one, a nice fish that jumped it. And that's been about it. There's a fish over here, I don't know if it's the same one, he's kind of in the shallows here. I could be wrong, but I think there's 2 or 3 over in here. There he is. There's the big guy. Problem is, I just put it right over him. That's never a good situation. So we'll let it sit for just a second, and then that probably was not a good move. So that's interesting. I got a fish right here in front of me, about 15 feet away, and he's just sitting there. Just sitting there. Oh, there's one. There's a little one. Interesting. Ooh, that's a big fish. Yep, and I scared him. I spooked him. Yep, I spooked him. That's too bad. Yep, I didn't have much of a choice when I casted though, so oh well. So these fish are kind of, some of them are kind of spooky. The bigger guys are. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I play this. Do I... I did have a nice fish jump the fly here a little while ago. So I don't know. I don't know. Part of me is wondering if the ant might be better. They might be a little bit less suspicious of it. Okay, one thing so I snapped my fly off. I was doing a roll cast here. A couple things have happened. I snapped off my fly, and then before that, right before that, I was running the fly in, and I had a refusal from a pretty good sized fish. It may have been that same one I've been messing with, and so then I snapped my fly off, and I decided, well, let's put the ant on and see what happens. And I just missed one off the ant. But I got to look, while I was changing flies, I got to look at these caddis. And I think one of the things that's happening here with me is they're a different color. These they look ginger when they're flying around, but they really are gray with a gray body. They've got a speckled gray wing and a gray body, and that may have something to do with why I've had some refusals from them. So we'll see how the ant does. I'm having some trouble casting here where I want to go because of we've got this breeze that's blowing into shore here. I want to go a little bit further out, but I can't really do it with the way the wind's blowing. So anyway, we'll see if they take the ant. I guess that answers a yes. This feels like a nice fish too. Oh, I lost him and hung up. Well, it's like 1:20 p.m., so I'm having a little bit of lunch. The fishing is frustrating. Seems like these last week or so it's been that way. There's definitely fish here. They're rising, but I'm having trouble catching them. I had a dancing caddis on, and I caught one off that, and had some refusals, and I don't know, just so I ended up switching over to an ant, and it's a little similar but different. I don't know, I've had some misses on it. Fish they're rising to it, but I'm wondering if some of them are refusing it too. I did hook a very, very nice fish here a little while ago on the ant, and I lost him, and he was a nice fish. So I'm gonna eat some lunch here, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue with the ant, but I think I'm gonna rig up my other rod with an intermediate line, and a couple of flies very similar to what I had on yesterday, and fish that. You know, I'm gonna kind of alternate. So, you know, we'll see. There's definitely fish here. The size range is, I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. This lake should have 3-year-olds and possibly some 7-year-olds. And I'm seeing some nice fish in here. I'm also seeing some little fish that almost look a little too small for 3-year-olds, but I don't know. The last time I was in here, which has been a while, it's been 10 years ago, I did note that I caught a fish that, I'm trying to remember what he was too, but he may have been a cutthroat or a Yellowstone cutthroat. That would have been 2011, but his size and stuff made me think he was naturally reproduced, and there's certainly no obvious spawning areas in this lake, but you know, if there's some springs or something, you never know. But anyway, a little bit more fishing. I'll probably head out of here about 3-ish. Well, I'm headed out. It's 2:45. I'm on my way back to grab the day pack and put everything away and head out. I caught 2, and that was it. There's plenty of fish in here. It's probably worth fishing again. They are just being really, really finicky today, and I'm seeing a lot of fish that are kind of nosing around on the bottom and don't seem really interested in anything. So I don't know. There's fish here though. I caught 2, and there are some bigger fish in here. So anyway, call it a day. Well, it's easier than it looked. I was a little concerned, even though it's low water, but I did all right. I didn't have to put my sandals on or get wet or anything like that. So that's the good news. The bad news, you can't see it here, but I start my big climb here. All right, so I'm in the middle of a sustained climb in here. It's a good climb. The middle part of this trail really climbs with some steep sections, and it's sustained until, probably about the 4-mile mark. So I probably have less than a mile of climbing left, and then it drops down to the lakes. Good climb in here though. It's about a 2,000 foot climb elevation in here. So eat your Wheaties. Okay, so there's a group of 3 lakes in here. There's one right down here. That's the lowest lake in the group. It has brook trout in numbers beyond the capacity of your hand calculator. Their size is about the size of your calculator too. Then there's 2 lakes that sit up in here, and that's where I'm going. I've fished them. This will be my 4th time in 15 years or so. Yeah, that's where they are. They sit right over there in that basin. I've got a little bit more climbing to do, and then there's a descent to the lake. So anyway, more to come. Old cabin here. It's kind of a milepost or a I don't know what you call it. It signifies you're getting near the high point of the climb. A little bit more climb up here. We break out of the timber here in a few minutes, and then there's a little bit of a climb that junctions with another trail that takes off to the north, and then we drop down to the lakes. Okay, I've just started my descent into the basin. So my target lake is over there, and then there's one in front of it. Lake Excess and Sickle Lake, I'm going to call them. Okay, this is the first lake that the trail comes to. This is Lake Excess. I call it Lake Excess. I've seen a couple of fish rising here. If the stocking schedule is right, it should have 3-year-olds this year as well. There's no natural reproduction in this lake, so it has to be stocked. They've kind of waffled. First it was on a 6-year stocking schedule, then on a 4-year. I think it's currently on a 4-year now. Kind of perplexing, because I was here 3 years ago and I saw some fish caught that looked like they were 2-year-olds, but according to MFish, this was stocked in 2023. I do know I fished this years and years ago on my first trip in here, and it had 2-year-olds and 6-year-olds. The 2-year-olds were about 11 inches, but the 6-year-olds were 19, 20 inches. Okay, here we are, Sickle Lake. I'm about 5.5, not quite 5.5 miles from the trailhead. Good climb in here. I was here 3 years ago. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross the outlet down here and go over here. I've always done well up there on that sandy beach. I've always done real well up there, so that's kind of what I'm going to do. Okay, it's 11:20, Sunday, September 10th. It took me a little bit longer to get in here than I thought it would. It took me about 3 hours. Thought I'd made better time than that, but obviously not. So I'm here. I've kind of moseyed on over to the, where am I at? I'm on the southeast side of the lake. I've always done very well here. A few fish rising here. The bottom drops off here pretty good a little bit. So this lake, rock and mud bottom. So that signals chironomids. So I'm going to rig up one of my rods with a floating line, a indicator leader, and 2 nymphs under a strike indicator. And then the other rod I'm going to rig up with a floating fly line and my ant. Don't know, I don't have a lot of time for relaxed fishing because it took me a while to get in here, but oh well. This is day 1 of what I hope to be a 2-day trip. I'm going somewhere else tomorrow day hiking, so looks like I'm the only one in here. I didn't see anybody at the trailhead. There are no other vehicles, nobody at the campground. I did see some horse sign coming in, but I wasn't clear on how recent it had been. So, but it looks, I haven't seen another soul in here. It looks like I'm the only person in here. So I haven't been fishing very long. I caught a little guy, and then on my third cast, I caught him. This is about, this is a west slope. It looks like a west slope. About 15 inches. Maybe might go 16. I don't know. Very nice. Very nice fish. Hit the chironomid. Yeah, not a bad start. Very nice fish. I don't know if I got that recorded, but so I've only been fishing about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. I caught a little guy on my first cast. On my third cast, I caught this guy. He grabbed the indicator, and then I hooked him as he was going down. Nice west slope, 15, maybe 16 inches. Very nice fish. Very nice fish. Not a bad start. All right, so there's fish working out here. They're rising. Looks like they might be taking midges or something, I don't know. But the one that I caught, he whacked the indicator, and then I don't know if what he did, hooked himself or whatever. I saw the strike indicator go under, so that was the one I just released. So we'll see what happens with this. I need to rig up. I wanted to rig up my other rod with a floating fly line and an ant. I'll give this a little bit here. I was going to kind of alternate here and kind of see what happens. All right, it's 12:30. I haven't been fishing that long, maybe 30-45 minutes. I've only caught the one little one and the one nice one. I think I don't have my I think I've got my indicator set too shallow. I checked the depth with my eye bobber, and it's not very far. It's about 9-10 feet. So I'll make that adjustment after lunch here. The bad news is, I think conditions are decent. I don't have a lot of time for relaxed fishing. I basically got to start packing up about 3:30 at the latest and get out of here. Since it took me so long to get in here, I was thinking it would take 2.5 hours. No, there's one that's right out here. I still really, though, I need to try my ant. I really need to try my ant in here, because these fish, they're in close and they're rising. And I think that would be good. But some clouds have started, nothing organized. They said there was a 20% chance of afternoon thunderstorms today, but we'll see. I'm glad to be here. It's this at one time this lake was like the best lake I had ever fished. Twice. I had 2 trips here that was just fantastic. Fish up to 20 inches. They last stocked it in 2020, so there's 3-year-olds here, but it also has natural reproduction, and they are apparently, the recommendation I read in the write-up for the lake in the survey report is that they're recommending dropping it from the stocking program, because they believe the natural reproduction is enough to sustain the fishery. So we'll see if that's true. 2020 may be the last time this lake was stocked, but it has. My first 2 trips here, I caught some gorgeous McBride cutthroats that were up to about 20 inches. Rainbow cutthroat hybrids. Those are my first 2 trips. My last trip here, which was 3 years ago, Labor Day weekend, it was disappointing. I caught, I don't know, 4 west slopes, 4 or 5 west slopes. Some of them were nice size, but overall it was disappointing. So I'm hoping it fishes better today. I just don't have a lot of time with the length of the hike. So hopefully I can get things dialed in and catch some more fish. So it's 1:30. I've been fishing a little bit, but we got weather moving in. And it's enough to concern me. They said 20% chance. That was when I looked yesterday evening. 20% chance. So I really didn't expect much. I've seen some clouds building, and what concerns me is this over here. We've basically got, I've heard a little bit of rumbling, and this beach over here, well, it's not exactly the best place to be in the middle of a thunderstorm waving a fly rod around. So I'm kind of, I don't know, what bothers me is this whole thing doesn't look very organized, but this one here, pretty threatening, and I don't know, I don't want to be zapped. So I don't know, it doesn't bode well because I don't have a lot of time left. I'm kind of already starting to count time. Like I said, it's 1:30, and you know, another hour and a half I need to be packing up and heading down the hill. So I don't know, we'll see. I've taken shelter up here in a there's a bunch of campsites on the east side of the lake, really nice campsites that I've camped at before here, and trees and stuff. So I got my pack and the fly rod's there, and I may I don't know, I may sneak out and try to make a few casts with the ant, just kind of close, and something happens, I can get back to shelter real quick. Well, so I almost was ready to pack up, and I decided I'd give it another try. It looks like it's clearing somewhat. I don't know, we've got some blue sky over here. I haven't seen any lightning. I've heard rumbling, and that's really about it. I haven't seen any lightning or anything like that. And I haven't really seen any rain until now. I'm starting to feel some sprinkling. Either way I do it, I don't have much time in here. I figured I'd give it a try, but finally I got another one. So I had well, I hope this thing is recording. Yes, it is. I had I was fishing with my indicator. This looks like a rainbow. I was fishing with my indicator, and I had one rip off the, just grabbed the dial balk and he ripped it off. And I tried a few more casts, and this is a little rainbow. So I tried a few more casts with no success, and so I was just a single fly, just the chironomid, and I switched over to the ant, and then I caught a little guy. This is about 6 inches, and then I just caught this guy here. So he's all right. He's a little rainbow, about 12 inches. Yeah, this is a rainbow. I don't know that this is a hybrid. He's about 13. Yeah. Yeah. So there he is. That's a little rainbow. All right, back you go, bud. Well, it's a little after 3, and I'm headed back to grab my pack and pack up. Yeah, disappointing day. Oh well. I caught 4, 2 little ones about 6 to 7 inches, and then a very nice west slope that was about 15 to 16 inches, and then that rainbow here that was 12 to 13. But kind of disappointing. You know, I don't even know if I had 2 hours of fishing with the lateness of getting in here, eating lunch, and then dodging that storm. But the weather's cleared, so but it took me a while to get in here, so I'm gonna head out, go to the hotel, and then tomorrow I'm making another day hike to a lake that I've been fishing, that I've been to 4 times already. So anyway, pretty lake. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, the last 2 times I've been in here, it's been disappointing. Not at all like the first 2 times. And I don't know if it's the change in stocking, if it's pressure. I don't know. Well, I'm headed out. There's Lake Excess. Certainly gorgeous views on the way out.